Hello good people! We have another exciting bro talk for you guys today, as always, and this bro talk is going to feature a very interesting story that highlights a little quick thinking, a little sneakiness, and seizing opportunities. This is probably one of my most favorite stories to tell, just because everything was so random, sporadic, and spur of the moment, and I feel like those are always the best stories. The story takes place almost a year ago at the last PAX East. It's in Boston every year, so every year I go, and that does include this year. I got myself a 3-day pass, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you're going to be at PAX East this year. I always try to meet up with some of you guys, and it's... Oh, man. I went to visit a friend. Sorry, guys. Ex-girlfriend texted me. Yeah, I always like to try to meet up with you guys, and it's always fun. It's always a good time. But as I said, the story is from last year's PAX. Usually every night there are a bunch of after parties that go on after the showroom floor closes. And the particular party of interest was the Curse Gaming after party. And one of my MLG friends, Steggy Tech, told me that he was going to go. So I thought about going too. It was going to be a bunch of us, like Golden Boy, who's a commentator, Robski, Nexi, Guy Smash Show Gaming, and Gunner. It was free RSVP, so I put my name on the list, but everyone I was talking to during the day said that it wasn't going to be that good, and they weren't sure if they were going to go because last year's party wasn't really that good. So they weren't expecting on going, so therefore I didn't really plan on going either. But at around like 8:30 p.m., I'm on campus with my friend Timmy. I'm in his dorm, actually, and I get a call from Steggy. And he tells me that the party is awesome and that I need to get down there. You know, he tells me everyone is there. People from Astro, Gunner, the Twitch guys, YouTubers are there, pro gamers are there, the Frag Girls are there, or not Frag Girls, the Frag Dolls are there. So I'm thinking, oh cool, it's a hype party, let's get over there ASAP. Steggy lastly warns me that they're closing the doors at 10, so I gotta get there within the next hour and a half. Now, the party is at the Seaport area in Boston, which isn't that far away from where I am. I'm not really sure how to describe the distance, but it'll probably take about an hour to get there with walking and having to wait for the subway and then, you know, traveling on the subway. But I didn't really want to trek all the way over to the Seaport area by myself, knowing that I was probably going to be out late and then trying to get back myself. You know, I'm just not trying to put myself in a dangerous situation. So I asked my friend Timmy if he wanted to come with me. He did, so I quickly put his name on the RSVP list through my phone, and then we headed out. We get to the Seaport Hotel where the party's being held, and after about 40-ish minutes of travel, we make our way up to the top floor. We have to walk outside through this courtyard area to get to the section of the hotel that the party was being at. You couldn't really access it from the usual entrance to the hotel or through an elevator. You literally had to, like, go up to a floor, walk across the floor into another part to get there. But once we got inside, we saw that there was a huge line to get in, you know, ridiculously long. Apparently, everyone had caught wind of how great this party was. But Timmy and I, we check our coats and we get in line. And there's actually two lines, both leading to the same place. Now, I look ahead of the line and I see that there is an entrance and an exit, a third, you know, sort of line area, and that's for people who have already been let in. So Timmy and I walk up there, we walk up to the front area of these lines, and it starts becoming more of a cluster and less of a line, and there's really no organization. And that's because a big guy, you know, had just walked up. I guess he walked up a second time when we had gotten there. He walks up behind the ropes and announces that they're at capacity and they aren't letting people in until midnight. Now, let me remind you, it had only taken us 40 minutes to get there. They had mentioned they were going to close the doors at 10. It's a little bit before 10 right now, not quite 10. And Timmy and I decided that we weren't going to wait 2 hours to be let in. So a little time passes by and up walks my friend Pixel from the Frag Dolls. And she's with a few of her friends. I don't really remember who she was with. But she asks me why I'm not in yet. And I tell her that they aren't letting people in till midnight. She doesn't, you know, it's not that she doesn't believe me. She thinks that she may be able to be let in. So she tries to talk to the guys at the ropes, and they don't let her in. A little more time passes by. I call Steggy. I tell him what's up. He says he'll try to talk to some people on the inside to get them to let us in. Both Steggy and I know a lot of people that work at MLG, a lot of people that work at Curse. We know a lot of people in the community, so the odds of us finding someone who had an extra wristband or that had the power to let us in was very likely. So we were feeling pretty good about this, Timmy and I. A little more time passes by, probably close to 10:30 now, and up to the ropes walks Steggy and Daze from the Frag Dolls and a few other people. Daze hands Pixel a bunch of wristbands for her and all of her friends, and they get to go in, and I'm still left here with Timmy. They didn't bring over enough wristbands for us, and of course, that's the situation. The pretty cute girls, they get let in, but the dudes still have to fend for themselves. So, of course, a little more time passes by, and then up walks this group of people who are trying to walk back into the party. So they go to that third entrance I was talking about earlier. They flash their wristbands, they're let in, but then another security guard stops them. And that's because they're each wearing a blue wristband. And I overhear the security guard explain to them that there are blue wristbands, which are for VIPs, but in order to have a blue wristband, you also need an orange wristband, which is for general admission. So if you're a VIP, you should have two wristbands. You should have a blue one and you should have an orange one. Everyone has at least an orange one. So they brought this group of people to the front of the line, where the ropes were, to get these orange wristbands. Now, as they're handing them the orange wristbands, I walk behind this group through that third entrance of people who have already been let in. I walk through there, no one says anything, no one's looking, and I immediately fast walk straight up to Steggy, Daze, and Pixel, and all of them. And Nicole goes, "Oh, they finally let you in," and I'm like, not quite, not exactly. So I'm all there standing with them, talking for a few minutes. My arms are crossed because I don't have a wristband. Timmy still isn't let in yet, and I'm not sure what my next move is. So at this point, I'd like to say that, I was good to go. I could go party, enjoy myself, have a good time. But that wasn't really the reality of the situation because I didn't have a wristband, so at any point someone could have just said, hey, let me see your wristband, and I wouldn't have had it. I'm sure I could have said it fell off, but, they might have not believed that. I also still had my friend Timmy waiting, not into the party yet. I had made him trek all the way over with me to the seaport. I invited him last minute, and then I just pretty much just kind of straight up ditched him a little bit. So I leave the group. I start wandering near the exit doors, looking for one that's maybe open, it doesn't have an alarm, something that I'll be able to sneak Timmy into. But as I'm looking for a good door, I notice a pile of orange wristbands on a ledge by a windowsill. So, I casually walk over to the windowsill, sit down on the ledge, spread out, my arms, I'm just casually sitting, nothing wrong. And I grabbed 2 orange wristbands. I might have actually grabbed 3. I don't even remember how many I grabbed. And I just shoved them into my back pocket. I act like I'm getting a text, so I pull up my phone. I text Timmy and I tell him that I got wristbands for us, and then I act like I see someone I know, and I walk away. I do a lap around the place, so I walk through. I go from the entrance area to the dance floor, to the bar, to the VIP area, back to the entrance, and I get back to the ropes, and I'm looking for Timmy, and I don't see him. And I feel bad because I figured that he left because he didn't get in, and like I said, I sort of ditched him. But I turn around, and there's Timmy, right behind me, into the party. He actually snuck in through an open door in the courtyard that we walked through earlier. And when he explained this to me, I was just amazed. I was like, I always try to preach seizing opportunities, doing things that necessarily wouldn't be allowed, but, you do them anyway just because they don't have any real repercussions. So whenever one of my friends does this without me having to hype them up, it makes me ecstatic. I was pumped for Timmy that he had sneaken in. Now, the story doesn't quite end there. I am going to fast forward to the end of the party, but just to catch you up on what happened at the party. I gave Timmy his wristband. We met up with Steggy. We partied. We danced. We got drinks. We did some more dancing. Talked with people. Typical party stuff. But like I said, fast forwarding to the end of the party, Steggy, Timmy, and I were all ready to leave. We go to the front of the hotel to try to grab a cab, and there's a little bit of a line. Not too much of a line, it's probably about 5 people. So we figured that we're going to wait 5 people, not that much. We wait for about 20 minutes, and literally only one taxi comes by. I live in Boston. I've lived in Boston for the past 3 years, but I typically don't go to the Seaport area, but at least in the area of Boston that I do go to, if taxis don't come by once every 20 minutes. That just doesn't happen. So we thought that this was out of the norm, so we decided that we're going to walk to a more populated area and try to get a taxi there. So we walk to a more populated area, and we're trying to hail taxis, but so are about 20 other people on this street. So we decide that we're not going to be able to pick up a taxi here, so we walk a little more. We walk a little more, trying to find a taxi. Finally, after I don't even know how long, it's at least 2 a.m. right now, we get a cab to stop, but he doesn't want to drive us back to campus because he thinks it's too far away. He figures that he'll get more money by staying in the area. So after we've been trying to hail a cab for so long, and at the same time, it's not like we're just like, you know, walking in an area. We're like starting to trek back to school just in case if we don't find one. And let me tell you, it's a long walk back to campus. So we were pissed that this guy wouldn't stop for us. We even told him we would like pay him extra. I think we might have said that we would pay him double even, but he didn't take it. So more time passes by. We continue walking. I don't want to say we're lost, but we've definitely lost track of where the path is back to campus. I'll say that. We're not lost. We just didn't know where the path was back to school. So we're walking some more. We walk down. We get to this really narrow side street, a street name that I had never heard of before. And we see these college kids run out of a bar and get into a limo. So we run up to them and we're pleading to them. We're like, dude, where are you going? Can we get a ride somewhere? Anywhere, please. We've been trying to get a taxi for an hour now. We can't. It's, you know, a 2-hour walk back to campus. You know, can we please just get a ride somewhere, wherever you're going, please? And it turns out these kids are going to Northeastern, which is right where we want to go. Like literally Northeastern next to Wentworth, right next to my school. Like if we couldn't get a direct trip to Wentworth, literally Northeastern is the next best thing. So we even tell them that we'll pay for it. They let us ride in their limo, only this isn't a regular limo. This is a stretched SUV limo with crazy flashing lights on the inside. I think I have a picture. Actually, I think Timmy took a few pictures too, so I'll try to include it if I remember. But the best part about this limo ride is that it only cost Timmy, Steggy, and I $20 between the three of us, which was freaking sweet and put an exclamation point on in a pretty eventful and awesome night. Because if we had taken a cab back, that definitely would have been more than $20. So for less money, we literally got a better riding experience, like a fantastic riding experience, literally like an upgrade tenfold riding experience. So yeah, that's the end of the story. I don't know what the lessons that teaches. I don't know. Like I said, you know, maybe creative thinking outside the box, taking risks, seizing opportunities, some of the stuff that I mentioned before. I don't really know. But that's the video I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter at FisherTwelve, same as the channel name. There will be a link down in the description. Also, make sure to check out DJ Ansky. His links will be in the description as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and take care.